जिम में 10 मिनट ज़्यादा बैठो और डाइनिंग टेबल पे कम बैठो. Camera on Arjun is not fond of cameras, and so is Anjali. Sarah is okay, but Arjun is like, okay, leave me out of this, and that was his expression.
What's your daily routine like as of today? Who better than you to answer what should be the cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle?
No set routine as such, but my simple formula in life is I can eat whatever I want, but not whenever I want.
Okay.
So once you strike that balance, then you're okay. On a lighter note, I used to tell my friends, जिम में 10 मिनट ज़्यादा बैठो और डाइनिंग टेबल पे कम बैठो. That is another formula, but ideally I would say yes, one needs to train, be active. If you don't want to go and train in a gym, you could go on walks, jog, whatever, play any sport. I feel every individual should pick up a sport, any sport that keeps you mentally healthy as well as physically. I think mental health is also equally important, which one ignores. So I think overall fitness is important. It's not just the looks, but what's happening inside body, more importantly inside your head.
Right.
How mentally fit are you? That is possibly even more important.
Sachin, these days when I watch T20 cricket, I tend to think that these matches, I don't know, correct me if I would love to understand what you think, is these matches lack any kind of recollection value. I remember growing up at a time when we would remember matches, and for that I don't mean it necessarily wouldn't have to be a 10-wicket haul or a big daddy 100 for me to remember a game.
Yeah.
Your innings in Auckland at 49 ball 82, for instance, against New Zealand, or the last wicket of Moin Khan. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. That googly. And do you think in T20 cricket the recollection value of a game is not the same as it used to be in cricket? And I'm wondering if this generation continues 20 years later, what next? I mean, what is
T20 format is full of action. If not every ball, then every over for sure, people are expecting something to happen, something big to happen. Either a big shot or that reverse sweep or whatever over keeper's head, something the batters are going to try. Very, very rarely do we see that 2-3 overs are quiet overs. People are used to that action. So out of those multiple actions, whatever, how does one remember everything? Only the mega moments are going to be remembered. Just the other day, Rinku Singh hit 5 sixes in a row. That's going to be remembered. Because I still remember Carlos Brathwaite hitting 4 sixes in the last over. So those kind of things will always be remembered.
Right.
So I feel today's generation is such that we like to move quickly. I mean, a little bit impatient, if I may use that word.
Right.
We want quick results, and that is how it is, and that is how possibly the format is. It's a very fast moving format, and there only those mega moments are going to be remembered.
Talking about today's generation and formats, the first thing that comes to mind is how complicated is the sport becoming? Rules and rules, like across formats. I mean,
it's only becoming complicated because we continue to change rules. If we have a set of rules and we kind of stick to those rules, if they're working well, then it won't be that complicating. But to be fair, we also have 3 different formats. There are not many sports where you have different formats. I can't think of anything else. Very, very few, if at all. Tennis, you continue to play with the same set of rules, be it men or women. I mean, just the number of sets are reduced.
Right.
But the kind of rules that they play with, they're exactly the same set of rules. So cricket possibly might be the only one where there are 3 different formats and the number of balls used, the number of overs you have to play with that particular ball. In Test cricket, it's minimum 80. Then ODIs now it's become 25, and T20. So number of fielders in the ring. Test, there is no restriction. So cricket is possibly the only sport which is slightly different to any other sport.
So existing rules changing, yes, I mean that's an important point you make. But other than that, there are some rules which I like umpires call. For instance, when a decision has been referred to the TV umpire, third umpire, it is because the player is not satisfied with what is being.
Are you with me in the same boat?
I'm asking.
Well, I mean, I fail to understand honestly what they are thinking, honestly, because I feel if a ball is hitting any part of the stump, it's out, and that is for both teams, right? It's not that for team A you are using technology and for team B you are leaving it to the main umpire. No, once we go to the third umpire, it's a clear-cut indication to me that somebody on field is unhappy with that decision and doesn't agree with that decision. That's why they want to go upstairs. So why come back to the person whom they don't trust? And that's why they've gone up, right? They've taken the risk of challenging his decision, and if they don't get it right, they lose their review. So why do we come back again? We don't need to come back. Forget about the on-field umpire, with no disrespect. I know before all this happened, number of games where umpires made mistakes and it cost us a game. So we are worried about technology not being foolproof. If the technology is not foolproof, then you don't have it. And if you want to use it, then trust. We have to trust technology then. Right now what is happening, in the same cup, thoda chai dal do and thoda coffee bhi dal do. It's not that. For me, it doesn't work.
For example, 50% of the ball touching the stumps. How do you measure 50% of the ball? Like it could be 49% will not work.
I really don't understand. I mean, I find that really strange.
The reason why T20 came into focus was because a viewer was not able to dedicate 7.5 hours for a one-day game anymore.
Yep.
That consumption time had to be brought down, and that's why one thought that a T20 could suffice because it was a 3-hour game. Now this very T20 stretching into 4.5 hours, is that justice enough to what was the model that was designed?
See, the actual playing time for both teams put together is around 3 hours or so, and if a side is not keeping up with the timing and they're lacking behind, then that is where the penalty comes into play, and the penalty is there. To have one extra fielder in the ring is very, very harsh, and that is how a penalty should be. It cannot be a soft one. I mean, you have to pay a price for that.
Right. Sachin, hasn't there been a relative decline in batters who could bowl? From your time, I mean, you, Viru, Dada, Yuvi, there were so many who could just roll their arm over, and it was so effective. Maybe the sidearms are a common sight now. But are they finishing this concept of batters who could bowl? I mean, by the way, I don't see batters bowling in the nets also these days. That's another.
I really cannot answer for the current team. I don't know what's happening and the injury status or whatever that may be. But as far as the earlier generation was concerned, our generation, the names that you took, we bowled. I mean, we enjoyed, and I had a lot of fun. I can speak for myself.
And with great results.
That was, it happened, whatever, and then the most important thing was I enjoyed bowling right from my school days. I didn't want to be a spectator there, watch others play. I had to be there in the middle of action, and then I enjoyed, playing those mind games with a batter. I enjoyed doing those things, and we would set fields and play a mini match. So those kind of things I enjoyed. I really don't know. I'm not in a position to answer why these guys are not bowling. I really don't know.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे detailed stats.
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या healthy debates.
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज,
सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म,
क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।